Well, grab a seat, sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
All right, Dean Davis, the flip. We are still in COVID formation, which we will be in for the foreseeable future, to say the least.
Till 2023.
Pretty much. It's the year 2525, if man is still alive. Listen, we got a lot to get into. We got Biden going in on Trump. We got movies that did not get released this summer. Which one would you have preferred to see? And we also have UFOs, so we got a lot to jump into. My name is Kenneth Davis, and you know my man, his name is
D. Demond Spurl. What's happening, everybody? Make sure y'all follow us on Twitter and Instagram at D and Davis Show. Once again, it's at D and Davis Show. Facebook.com/D and Davis Show. You can find us on YouTube, iTunes, SoundCloud, everywhere you can find a podcast. Simply click on the bio link in our handles, and it'll take you right there. Subscribe, rate, share, all that good stuff. All right. I'm on Twitter and IG at Demonz1, DEMONZE1. Ken is on Twitter and IG at That's Davis. Executive producer of the D and Davis Show and D and Davis The Flip, Ryan Bukoveski. Ryan's on Twitter at Ryan B. Ski and IG at Ryan B. Ski1. And our main man, and we are RigorRadio.com writer, Sidney Brown. You can find Sid on Twitter and IG at SidKid80.
All right. Former Vice President Joe Biden claimed on Wednesday that Donald Trump is the first racist elected president. Speaking during a virtual town hall, Biden made the claim in response to racist remarks that the president has made to characterize the coronavirus pandemic. Trump and others in his circle have repeatedly referred to the virus as the China virus or Kung Fu or Wuhan virus. Biden, the presumptive Democratic presidential nominee, in turn claimed that
no sitting president has ever done this. Never, never, never. No Republican president has done this. No Democratic president. We've had racists, and they've existed. They've tried to get elected president. He's the first one that has.
No sitting president has ever done this. Never, 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 never. No Republican president has done this. No Democratic presidents. We've had racists. They've existed, and they've tried to get elected. But here's the first one that has. Several of the country's early presidents owned slaves while in office, including George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, Andrew Jackson, and Zachary Taylor. Woodrow Wilson was an adamant supporter of segregation in the federal government. You know we always got hate for Woodrow Wilson. His Don of the Nation quote about, "It's so true. That's the worst part about it." Mm-hmm. So again, listen, and Ryan also provided a link where Charlamagne went in and gave him Donkey of the Day. Hey, it's Joe Biden. You know what I'm saying? He's crazy Uncle Joe, right? Listen, this is what we have to settle for because it's a racist in office. But it's what we have to settle for. He's totally wrong. There's probably been, listen, let me say this. There have probably been way more racist presidents than not.
Yeah.
Right.
Ken, you've said this a lot of times already.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, clearly, and again, we know there's only so much power that the executive office holds. But like, how many? Like, I remember, for instance, I'm a big Teddy guy. I think I don't know if it was Frederick Douglass or W. Du Bois. I don't remember which one. I know they talked Teddy out of having them in the White House.
I think it was W. Was it Frederick?
I can't remember.
I'm gonna look it up.
So, and again, I like him, but I'm giving him a out because he should have done it anyway. But even when we go and look at Lincoln, we knew Lincoln freed the slaves to take money away from the South to try to end the war. That was his motivation in freeing the slaves. Initially, he was like, we sending their asses back. So there's been plenty of racist presidents. Now, usually...
It was Booker T. Washington.
Thank you, D. Mm-hmm. Usually, put it on the peanut. Usually... Usually they're not as outward spoken with it. I mean, if you even go back and listen to what's the name that was vice president under Kennedy that became
LBJ.
If you listen to Lyndon Bloom Johnson talk to Martin Luther King, it was disrespectful. Or if you ever hear the tapes where they talking, he's talking to him in a manner to a certain degree like he's a boy. Like it's got to be like this. It's So Biden jumping out again, if Biden just sticks to the script, you got the votes, just lay low for a minute, all right? I mean, for the most part, listen, while Trump is pivoting now, trying to become the coronavirus president, getting his butt on that. Talk about all the lives that were lost while he was playing games about masks. No one has said this, and this bothers me the most, D. You can take this out for me.
Yeah.
No one's pointed out that this man said 2 months ago, I feel like people that are wearing masks are doing it to disrespect me.
Yep.
He said that. So now joking about. I never said that. No. You said masks were an affront to your administration. Basically saying that the only reason they're doing it is because they don't like me, not because we aren't trying to protect ourselves. No, don't like it. This we already know he a racist. We don't need that or whatever. But again, you're sugarcoating the whole history of the United States, basically.
Well, you can say this too, Ken. I remember, I forget who was the reporter that asked Trump a question. He had a mask on, and he said, Trump was like, "Don't you take it off? Take it off." And he was like, "No, I'm not taking it off." And he was like, "Well, you're just trying to be politically correct." This is the thing about it, though. All those things that he say, they're going to get brought back up, but it doesn't have to get brought up by Joe Biden. You have the Lincoln Project. You have other Republican groups that's trying to take out Trump, and you already have Democratic liberal groups throwing stuff out there via social media, via advertising, whatever like that, right? So this is the thing. Joe Biden doesn't really have to go that. I mean, he has to go hard, no doubt. He has to basically campaign as to why he's different than Donald Trump, and that's how you win, right? But like you said, you can kind of lay low at the same time, but still get gut punches in. So you don't have to come out and say, well, he's a first openly racist president or first racist president. Obviously, obviously that's not true. Yeah. I'll try to help Joe Biden. Maybe what he's trying to say is we haven't seen anyone this blatantly open in the modern day history of it. Now, you can say, look at Ronald Reagan. He first campaign kicked off in Philadelphia, Mississippi. You can look at
welfare queens.
Welfare queens. Yeah. So, okay, all right. So you had even going back to Nixon. He's modern day. I mean, my God, dude was racist as hell, right? You know what I'm saying? Law and order. Yeah, we know who you're talking about. Campaigns that was kind of dirty within George Bush and John McCain. Didn't George Bush send out something talking about John McCain had a black daughter or something like that, and kind of using that against him? I think that was George Bush, Little Bush, not Big Bush, Little Bush. So
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I think he did. It was a dirty campaign, man. Bush and McCain.
Wait, John McCain got a black daughter somewhere?
No, well, he has an adopted daughter. I think she's Indian, but I think they was trying to spin something somehow as if, I don't know if we're talking about her, but I think that was kind of like dirty in the mud campaign that the Bush and McCain was going through, right? So they kind of like wanted to hide it, like we gonna throw this out there, red meat to that base, but you know what I'm saying, y'all stay in the closet, y'all just come outside when you gotta go vote, but then we gonna put you back inside. Trump is basically like, open the floodgates, you know what I'm saying? Suburbs, they gonna take y'all fucking suburbs, and racist, I'm gonna call the coronavirus a racist name and this and that. You know, Barack Obama wasn't born here. You know what I'm saying? So if he want to say that he's a first modern day guy who just blatantly open with it, yeah, because the other ones tried to hide it. But you can't come out and say that he's a first racist president. Everybody just seen Hamilton. Everybody now looking at all the history of these presidents like, wait a minute, hold on.
Did you Strom Thurmond John McCain?
Did I Strom Thurmond? No, I'm telling you, dude, it was something that they ran. No.
Okay, I'm just making sure.
I'll look it up, but I believe that's true. But say it, Ron, what y'all think?
I had to go. You had to go back to Dee's point. I agree with everything you said, Dee. We all know that President Trump, he doesn't care what anybody thinks. He's going to shoot at the hip no matter what. I know back way long time ago when he was coming up as a reality TV star or what have you, most people liked it because he was a celebrity. Now it's different because he's in the office, in the highest office of the land. Ken, the only part that I would disagree with you on is the last part, and they said that Biden's getting off script. Actually, he's on script because he's getting those people that don't like Trump, doesn't care about Trump, and saying that he's the first racist president and all that. He's trying to galvanize those people to vote for him in November. I said this a long time ago on this program that however this coronavirus situation plays out, Biden's got Trump as far as this issue is concerned. That's the only thing he can run on right now. And look what's happening in some of the southern states in terms of the cases and deaths. So I actually think that Biden is on track because he's trying to get those people that hate Trump based on emotion to get them on the side to go vote for him in November. Will they translate? We shall see.
I guess I'm going to kind of piggyback that point a little bit, Sid. The statements that Joe Biden has made a lot of times have kind of just, as we've seen from like the Breakfast Club incident that we did earlier, a few flips ago, and now this one. Like, it's not really factual information. But I'll give Joe this. Like, he is on Trump's ass. Like, he is all about attacking him and going at him as hard as he can. And to be fair, that's how Trump's going to try to win this election too. Like, if they ever get in a debate, they're going to try to he's going to do what he tried to do to Hillary last year. Just slam that hammer. Like, you're incompetent, you're stupid, and just like ride these points so hard that it kind of fools everybody a little bit. It just riles up his base, and some people, you know, whether they're biased or not in their preferences, they just decided to either not vote for Hillary or they voted for Trump, especially in these swing states. And I think for Joe, he's trying to do exactly what Trump's trying to do. Just any mistake, get on his ass, go as hard as you can. Doesn't matter if it's true. Like, he's not the first racist president. We all know that's not true, but that's okay. Just go at him hard, because that's all he's going to do. He's going to run with anything. So we got to run with everything. And he's just trying to, I think, clash with Trump. And just whatever it is, let's galvanize our base by going as hard as we can at this dude.
Yeah. I have a question for y'all pertaining with this. Ken, do you think the reason why he said that he's the first openly racist president is because we have so many people in this country that has lived, and let's just be blunt about it, white people who have lived with this veil over their eyes, that they don't really live in a racist society? And he's trying to basically, although what we know, what he said is not true, but do you think he's trying to use that to get to them? Because I think he already know the Democratic base is probably going to be like, dude, what the fuck are you talking about? But I wonder if he's saying that to try to get to that other side, maybe some disaffected Republicans. Do you think he's trying to do that?
Yeah, I think that makes sense. But even in doing that, you can say it accurately. You know, like, you can just say, you know what, I can't remember. We've had presidents that have had issues. We have presidents that have been racist. But when have you heard someone just so adamant and so polarizing?
There you go.
No problem with being polarizing, and never tries to, at times, especially when there is tragedies, pandemics, whatever's taking forth, you're supposed to bring the country together. All right. His first shots is always to just let his base know, I still got you. It's never, you know what, you guys over there, why don't you come over here? I may not be, listen, you didn't vote for me, but I'm still your president, right? It's no, dude. So I think you're right, but it's just still that Uncle Joe way of doing things where it's just like, and I even going with Ryan's point as far as like, whatever, just throw it against the wall and see what six. He's blessed from this point. People want Trump out so much that these mistakes aren't going to blow back as hard as they would have blown back at you.
Yeah.
If this was a more contentious race, when I mean, I guess competent race is what I should say. If there were more competent people being involved in this, both of them would be in some trouble. You know, maybe not because the Republicans are him being an incumbent and the Republicans are so fearful of losing that base of his, because it's 30-some% that they know they have, right? Let's not just forget 12 years ago, basically, they were worried up the yin yang. Listen, they had Steele become the RNC chair.
Michael Steele, yeah.
Because they was like, man, we need some color, right? And the Tea Party came and they was like, no, we don't. So they were fearful in talking about bringing in Latin Americans, you know what I'm saying, because of the religion being alike. And think about all that's been just thrown away. And this hard chunk of core of 30%, whoever runs it is all that they really care for. So on the Republican side, maybe not, but Joe's lucky that even with the Democrats, I mean, you had some strong contenders, but D and I talking to Ryan when this all started, we said it was going to be Joe Biden because middle America, when you just talked about Hillary Clinton, people have issues, not us. People have issues with electing a woman. Now, there's more issues around Hillary than just that. So let me allude to that. But another problem was, of course, people don't like her, but also she's a woman and people are sexist. And that's even women who have a problem with thinking about a woman being the highest authority in the land. But I agree with you. I do think Joe Biden was just trying to pull the veil off of some of those people.
Maybe.
If that's the veil and they just not real, he is right.
But you know what? I think a lot of people, I believe, they think that. I'm sure I'm sure if you never had to deal with race in your everyday life, not saying all white people don't. But majority of them, I think, probably don't have to deal with it. You know what I'm saying? Just because of the construct of how this country was made, right? I bet you a lot of people are kind of like, oh my God, I cannot believe that he's saying this, or I can't believe he's doing this. I can't believe, you know what I'm saying? I'm sure it's kind of like a gut punch to a lot of people that maybe they thought that time was over.
Really though?
Yeah. No.
Really?
No.
You're giving those people the crazy benefit.
No.
These are I can give you. Son of a bitch.
I can give you a specific person. Remember that infamous talk that I had in my 9 to 5, right? And a guy came out at my gig, and blatantly said, "I thought all this was over when we elected Barack Obama. I guess I'm wrong." So, and he said that to the entire company. So this is what I'm saying.
Yikes.
Exactly. Now, I don't know what the percentage of people are like that. I mean, what's the percentage of those people? But they are out there. Someone said it straight to my face.
But wait. I don't know if those two things necessarily correlate.
Okay. All right.
Thought racism was over when Barack Obama was elected.
Yes. We've heard that 1,000 times.
But no. But I don't think that correlates to not knowing the things that come out of Trump's mouth is racist, though. You know,
I think it's more.
I think those are apples and oranges to a certain degree to say that. Now I can understand you saying that there's some naivete with this person.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Things that come out of Trump, the gaslighting that Trump does, people that he's doing it for knows he's doing it. I was watching, and I don't mean to be disrespectful to this family. It was a young lady that died overseas, was taken by the Taliban. And they have 2 of the guys that were involved in it. And they were doing it. They interviewed these 2 guys. And these guys, I believe, are going to be in trial in the UK. And their parents want them to come here and have them prosecuted here in America. But the UK is like, if we do that, you can't use the death penalty. The death penalty has to be taken off the table. So I'm watching this. And I'm sorry for this family's loss. Her mother and father are there. And the mother's like, nothing should be taken off the table. And I was like, she about to say something to Trump, right? And she was like, we're talking to the president. And I'm like, you could like, the people are in lockstep for the most part. A lot of these people are like, these are the things that have been in the back of my mind. This PC culture telling me to suppress this. This is how I feel. Why can't I say it? The white America is being trampled upon. You know, like all that's in their head. And he's the person that's like, you should feel like that.
Exactly, yeah.
So I don't think that these people are necessarily as naive. Just like my last part, when you saw about a month ago, there was a cavalcade of people in like golf carts. And there was like a protest. And
in the village down in Florida. He
said white power. And the dude knew. Or just like when you had the young man that was in Indiana at the beach and those guys was beating him up.
Yeah.
Guy. And they put the camera on him. And then you could tell that what black guy wanted to say that white guy wanted to say the N-word, but he knew that would been the hit, right? It was like, get out of here. It was like, say it.
Yeah.
He was like, I don't want to lose my job. Listen, now mind you, while they're trying to kidnap somebody, that was going to cost him his job. But he was thinking in his head, like, do I want to be on this camera? Because he wanted to let that bad boy ride out his lips.
I think those 2 guys, or some of those guys actually got charged for something, or the law enforcement down there in Indiana actually looking for them. If not, they found them. I think it was in Bloomington. Because you know, in social media, man, as soon as your face pop up, people can find you. People gonna find you, right? Yeah. So going back to my, I was saying about John McCain and George Bush. So here's something that I found. So basically, this tactic it's called a whispering campaign, right? So that's what it's called. But it said during the 2000 Republican presidential primary, Senator John McCain, whose adopted daughter is dark-skinned. Is a dark-skinned child from Bangladesh, was the target of a whisper campaign.
Sorry, I had to do
that. Was the target of a whisper campaign implying that he had fathered a black child out of wedlock. Voters in South Carolina reportedly asked in a push poll, would you be more likely or less likely to vote for John McCain if you knew that he had fathered an illegitimate black child? In addition, on the week of the nomination vote, dozens of radio stations were called on the same day, asking talk show hosts what they thought of McCain's fathering a black child out of wedlock. So, I mean, they throw it out there. They throw it out there, but it's not like to the point of what Trump is doing. So, is Donald Trump the first racist president? Absolutely not. But in this age of technology and social media and things like that, and he's amplifying it. That's why I'm just trying to spin it a little bit. But like you said, but I think we all can agree, Joe Biden is 100% wrong with what he's saying. But that's probably what he was trying to do. But he got whacked for it. But like you said, Ken, it's going to blow over because of who's in the White House.
Real quick. Anybody visualize when D was saying his coworker in that Obama thing? Was he just like having a huge party as soon as he got elected, running down the street like, end of racism! Congratulations, everybody!
Come on!
Finally over, officially!
Yeah. But you know how many people actually came out and said that? Like, I thought this was over. Y'all got a black president 2 times. Man, what y'all talking about? And here come old Trump.
And then what they do? They Trayvon Martin this.
Yeah.
And let us know, like, I got you back. Mm-hmm. I still remember walking to work that after George Zimmerman got off.
Man.
I was hot. I wanted a mug to step to me that day, boy. I was ready. I was so ready. All right. Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot expressed agreement with President Trump's plan to deploy federal police to the city during a Wednesday evening phone call with the president, according to the mayor's office. Trump ordered the Department of Homeland Security to send 200 officers to Chicago, which recorded a normal high number of shootings over the past 2 months to quell the surging. The unrest in Chicago differs in kind from that in Portland, Oregon, which has been contentious rioting and destruction of the city and federal property over the same period. Lightfoot has previously rejected the deployment of federal police in Chicago, writing on Twitter on Tuesday, under no circumstances will I allow Donald Trump's troops to come to Chicago and terrorize our residents. Trump reached out to Mayor Lightfoot this evening to confirm that he plans to send federal resources to Chicago to supplement ongoing federal investigations pertaining to violent crime. The mayor's office said Wednesday in a statement in the Chicago Sun-Times, Lightfoot maintains that all resources will be investigatory in nature and be coordinated through the U.S. Attorney's Office. So, hey, I'm sorry to say, bring them. I got some hot takes I ain't going to let fly up on here. Wait, so real quick.
Okay.
Not even on the flip?
Not even on the flip. This
is what you about to give us not that hot of a take?
No. This is going to be a hot. It has nothing to do with me, though. So yesterday I still give money to Kelsey's daycare or whatever, right? So I had to give him some money in probably like 3 weeks to a month. So I was like, all right, let me go over there and drop some dollars off over there. And we start talking about what's going on in places that was closing. And the lady was like, I know that man died. And then when she said that, I was like,
oh Lord, here you go.
Nothing's good gonna come after this, right? Like she was of course talking about George Floyd. Mm-hmm. And she's like, I know that man died. And then it was to talk about the civil unrest. And of course, definitely vandalism, especially with so many losses of jobs and places, whatever, even though I think it's not good now, but in the long run, we should fill those places up ourselves. But yeah, I mean, I'm tired. I mean, it's back to a period in my life where it makes me think about coming up and everybody was dying. And I'm tired of hearing these little kids getting shot. Mm-hmm. I'm tired of it's just so brazen and so reckless that you lean more towards heavy-handed law enforcement. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, of course, that's not going to help. We're going through now issues with over policemen and abuse of power, rather, with the police or whatever. Mm-hmm. But yeah, something has to change. I don't necessarily think this will be the change. Mm-hmm. I can't necessarily be upset. Now, I definitely don't want to see what's happening in Portland happen here in Chicago.
That ain't going to happen.
Yeah. I don't think it's going to happen.
Right.
Unless, of course, put it like this. As long as we don't necessarily see those troops, that style in our streets, and as long as those guys don't kick off something or retaliate on something, there won't be an issue.
Right.
So as long as now these are just investigators that are just ramping up and providing more footwork and more efforts and energy, yeah, it'll be cool. But again, I can't be against this with how crazy the things are going in the city. Of course, Trump's trying to use this as being the quote unquote law enforcement president as his campaign, as one of his campaign barometers. But still, I hate to say it, I have to kind of be like, all right with it, because it's crazy what's happening in the city.
Well, I think what you're cool with is what they're doing is somewhat normal, right? So you can take this back to this kind of law enforcement tactic back to the to the 90s when they started chopping off. No, I won't say chopping off. They start arresting the heads of different major gangs in the city of Chicago, right? So you had the Larry Hoods, Jeff Forrest, and all these guys. They
were going before the 90s. They was going.
They was going before the 90s. But what I'm trying to say is they started arresting.
They locked everybody up in the 90s. They locked everybody. They did.
Up. But this
Super Predator.
But this, yeah, exactly. They was going to that deal.
So you saying this is what you want?
No. But listen to what I'm saying. I think what people are seeing is what happened then. But what happened after that is the reason why you're seeing what's going on right now. There is no structure. There is no organization. I don't care whatever organization, if it's a legal organization or a criminal organization, there has to be some type of structure. Growing up in Chicago, you saw gangs, they had structure, and now you don't. And this is the reason why you're seeing all this, right? That's one part. The second part is they could easily fix all these issues. We just gave out trillions of dollars to some people and some companies that didn't even need it, right? Kanye West getting like a bunch of money, or, you know, saying this company get a bunch of money and this person get a bunch of money, Elon Musk getting a bunch of money, whatever like that, right? They don't need that money. You know where the money is needed. If you want to change what's happening in poor neighborhoods, predominantly black and brown neighborhoods, all you need to do is give resources. You don't see these same issues in neighborhoods within major cities or suburbs. You know why? Because they have resources. They have the education. They have the jobs. They have the community resources. This shouldn't be kind of like, I can't believe this. We got to send more police officers to these neighborhoods. No, you have to send more resources to these neighborhoods, and then you won't see these kind of issues. Chicago was probably, if not the most policed city in America. And still, we have the same issues that we've been having. If that was the case.
It's the second most, dude.
The second most. Okay, fine. Second most.
Like, New York has like.
Yeah, they have a ton because the population up there is so many, right? So they have to have so many cops, right? But if you bring in more resources if you bring in more cops, you think the city would get better. In certain communities across the city, it's not getting better because they don't have the resources to get better. More policing does not mean better neighborhoods. It doesn't. You breed resentment within the community. And what's needed is schools, jobs, and community resources. That's what changes the neighborhood. So whenever I hear, and this is even going to Joe Biden, no, I don't want to defund the police. And I'm not seriously saying I don't want to defund the police, but I don't want to defund the police. I want to give them more money. It's kind of like, dude, no. Those resources need to go to the community, and you won't have these issues that you're seeing right now. So until we get out of that loop of a way of thinking, we're going to keep seeing the same thing happen over and over and over again.
I agree that most poor communities need the resources, Deep, but I'm not saying I have all the answers because no one does and I don't either, but I think it starts from within. It starts with the breakdown of the family, especially in our community, because 75% or now 80% of children are growing up in single family homes. And let's be honest here, if you're a single mother, I'm not saying all single mothers are bad because it's not true, but if they're dependent on the welfare system, and then part of it is you cannot have a man in a home.
See, that goes to my point about resources. That goes to my point about resources.
That entices them to stay on the quote-unquote government's payroll instead of having a man in the home to properly raise their kids. I think that's a major problem right there.
Then there was the flip. Carrying on, Twitter exploded the other day over the chatter that New York Times essentially confirmed the existence of UFOs in an article about the Pentagon's secret official UFO unit. They didn't, but we will get to that in a second. The article in question confirms that despite the Pentagon's early statement that it had disbanded a once covert program charged with investigating UFOs, the program was actually still operational, has been renamed the Unidentified Aerial Phenomenon Task Force and transferred into the Office of Naval Intelligence, where officials continue to study the mystifying encounters between military pilots and unexplained aerial phenomenon. UFO Task Force Private Naval Investigation sounds like a Space Force to us. Appeared most recently in the Senate committee report outlined in 2021's National Intelligence Agency spending and listed the Unidentified Aerial Phenomenon Task Force responsibility to standardize collection and reporting of sightings of unexplained aerial vehicles and requirement of reports of some of its findings in the public, which 180 days after the passage of Intelligence Authorization Act, according to the New York Times. The news and quote from astrophysicist Eric W. Davis, who previously worked as a subcontractor and a consultant for the Pentagon's former UFO program, which started, he had been given a classified briefing to the Defense Department agency this March about retrieval and materials from off-world vehicles that made it to Earth, has left many Twitter users hoping that with a few months we may actually see some evidence of UFOs. Unfortunately, that's probably not the case.
Yeah, I don't think. I think we probably would have saw something by now.
You don't think what?
I think we probably would have saw something by now.
So are you saying you don't believe in UFOs?
I don't know. Well, okay. I believe in extraterrestrial life on other planets.
Right. Yeah.
I definitely believe in that. I think people are very naive and they think that we're the only thing in this galaxy or in the universe. I think that's
the universe.
Yeah, the universe. I think that's very, it's kind of like, what, really? You know what I'm saying?
We may be the only thing in the Milky Way, maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Universe, yeah.
I mean, it's something. I mean, even bacteria. I mean, there is. There's other life out there.
Something.
Right. I don't know. We don't know if it's like us.
Single cell organism.
Hey, the water bears are on the moon right now, baby.
The water bears.
Yeah, remember we did that story?
No, what was that? I forgot about that.
Japan sent those microscopic organisms, the water bears, because they can like survive anything basically.
Mm-hmm.
Wait a minute, it's another country that sent a missile out into orbit too. Oh, who was it? Was it a Middle Eastern country? I can't remember. Somebody just just went to orbit recently. And once again, I think all of this just basically shows that America is getting
China or Russia, I think.
But they already been. I think they already been to orbit. I thought it was somebody who had never been there. But anyway, beside the point. Back to the aliens. I think we probably would have saw something by now.
Well, did you see those other videos that was released by the Pentagon?
I did see those videos. I saw them. But remember, UFO only means unidentifiable flying object. It doesn't mean there's aliens in there flying it. It could be something that we,
But it could be aliens too.
Yeah, possibility is there, I guess. But I think we would have saw something.
That's what I'm saying. If you don't know what it is and it's flying like crazy out of here and they're like, whoa, this thing's flying. It's going faster than anything we've seen. That's just nothing.
Well, also, I'll put let me play devil's advocate. Here in Chicago, it'd be harder to see something to a certain degree because of light pollution.
True.
Like if you're out in the country where it's pitch black and you can see all of the stars, basically, it's gonna be easy for you to pick up something moving at some kind of crazy speed and rate, crazy velocity with no propulsion system that we know of, quote unquote, to date. I think it's a good chance. All right.
There's something's here right now.
I mean, just technology in general, and just
do you believe that Pentagon source that said that these are off-world vehicles? With all the cameras and stuff that's out there right now, and I know we live in in somewhat of a big brother society.
Who control those cameras?
Yeah, but no, I'm not talking about those cameras like on light poles and things of that nature. Everybody got a camera in their pockets. Somebody would have took a picture of something. We see everything in everybody's life.
We did. The military did. They showed us.
The military. I'm talking about Joe Blow out on the street. Everybody videotaped.
Well, what if the military is the only one that's been like? We're talking stuff way up in the sky, or right on the ocean, in the middle of the ocean. Not like this was in Kansas. We just saw it. Like we're talking, you need like something with a radar and a tracker up in the sky in order to get a video of this.
Hey, have y'all seen the show The Unidentified on the History Channel?
No, I haven't seen that.
So I'm watching this last week. Remember we were sitting there, I told you I fell down a rabbit's hole?
Yeah.
All right. So I'm looking at it, and one of the dudes, I'm like, dude, why does he look like dude from Bleak 182? Come to find out, this dude from Bleak 182.
Yeah, Tom.
I remember you.
Right?
Didn't you talk about this? Didn't we talk about this?
Yeah, we did.
This is the thing. The dude that's running it was the dude that was in charge. In the Pentagon that was in charge of basically a department like the one just mentioned here. Like, and the guys that are in the crew are like all like real legitimate government. Most of them either government agents or one of them worked for Skunk Works for Lockheed Martin. Like, and they go and they interact with people in the military, pilots, and talk about listen, what did you see? Like this lady was talking about, I was with my commander. We saw one. He said, I'm going after it. I was a little afraid. I played the back. And then they go to the commander. He was like, yeah, because she basically was like, I wouldn't have came before it if he didn't, because it would have ruined my career. And these people talk about how it's going to ruin their career, but it's a bunch of, and these were like, this isn't like the shows where it's like alien astronaut theorists. Because like my house when we hear that. Oh, this
like ancient aliens or something.
Right. Theorists, right? Like could build those pyramids, right? With just 1,000 dudes, right? Stacking blocks.
You need the old degravitator.
Right,
exactly.
But that show, though, those guys are reputable. You know what I'm saying? And they're interviewing real life military people, because kind of to Ryan's point, these are the people that are going to be in situations, fighter pilots. There was one article of a cargo plane guy, pilot from Japan, and he had seen something. He was like, that bad boy was coming directly at him. And they basically they set him down. Like he can't fly anymore. He's flying at his death. I forget what they called it, but basically he's out. He can't. They didn't like the fact that he came out and talked about it or whatever. But he was just talking like pilots and stuff. People see these things. And again, now to your point, a UFO could be under a weapon that hasn't been revealed yet. And one of these dudes was they was trying to talk about, well, why would someone hide anti-gravity? And one of the guys was like, well, possibly because. What's the point? Because if you talk about it, people are just going to kind of want to know more about it. So until it's needed, why do it? Because another guy was like, why wouldn't they use these weapons now, right? And I guess the dude was basically saying there hasn't been a necessity to reveal the new weapons that may be out there that we and the new type of technology, which common man we don't necessarily know about.
Right. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of things out there that we don't know about. But yeah, Sid, you got something?
The only thing they'll convince me if I believe in UFOs if I see it blow through a major city. Like Ken said earlier, if you're out in the country, maybe it's a chance you'll see something because there's nothing but open air and open space. But if I see a unidentified object go through a major city like Chicago, New York, maybe I'll believe something. Until then,
so it's got to be on 79th Street. It's got to be right there on the 9.
Non-believer.
You see that UFO by White Castle? Yeah, we driving down South Chicago. Somebody pulled up a UFO park. Right? That UFO got spinners on it. Like,
they spinning.
It's the only time I'm gonna believe.
Bring on the mothership.
Now I believe in aliens.
You ain't never seen anti-gravity spinners before.
Them aliens, some cold motherfuckers right there, bro.
Wanging down the block.
Oh man, something's out there, but
no, but I agree. I agree. I think it still does make sense that why haven't we seen it?
Yeah, that's the only thing.
Though, we still have to know. But think about this too. We already know, like Mark Zuckerberg is basically the government has him in their back pocket. So watch anything off of Facebook. So they listen. They would call him and be like, Mark. He'd be like, I already know. I got it. Don't worry about it. It's been scrubbed. Right. It's been scrubbed.
Yeah.
So even with those platforms, look at the thing that happened. What was it last week with the Bitcoin thing with Biden and with what's the name of it? Was the chairman of Microsoft, the head of Microsoft,
Bill Gates.
I think Bezos.
Oh yeah.
Where they went and they got into their account and basically had like they ended up stealing like $200,000 and it was like, wait, you guys could have ripped up. They basically were in the bank and took lollipops. This is what it basically happened. And some people felt it was a warning that they were really just trying to show this is what we could do and this could really affect the election. It wasn't necessarily about theft or something like that. And Twitter came out and was like, somebody that worked for them they got to them. And we don't know if they got to them, if that person gave access to these accounts or if that person did this themselves or whatever. But the point that I'm just trying to make, if you can get to Twitter just like that.
Okay, I do remember the Twitter hacks, yeah.
Yeah, imagine if you can get to the people that really own it and like just again, I mean, it's the government. The government, sometimes we forget. And we, especially, I don't see how we can be like, man, you gotta trust them. Right? Like they proven a lot when it comes to this. It's like,
yeah, you gotta watch it. Yeah, I agree.
All right, this is definitely from something near and dear to Ryan's heart. Vanilla Ice, the one-hit wonder, inescapable under pressure sampling of
That's
1990s pop rap sensation Ice Baby will be getting a movie biopic treatment before any of these legends of the genre.
Oh my God!
Mentioned were Run DMC, the Beastie Boys, Rakim, Big Daddy Kane, LL, Jay-Z, and Nas. Yeah, so you're gonna get you a Coolest Ice 2.
Well, who is doing it? Is he doing it himself?
No, I don't think so.
So somebody else is doing a biopic on what's his real name?
This goes on Robert Van Winkle.
Yeah, Robert Van Winkle. Yeah.
Hollywood has long had a fascination with his ices, not to mention the white rappers dating back to 1991, as I mentioned. Coolest Ice. Mm-hmm. Listen, I watched Coolest Ice.
Coolest Ice, was that the Jamaican?
Wasn't Naomi Campbell? Wasn't Naomi Campbell on that title track singing? I believe.
I don't remember.
Coolest Ice was his movie when they had the motorcycles and they came.
Oh yes, you are right. Okay, yes, I do remember that movie.
Put some respect on that.
I do remember that movie. I do
Drop
remember
that
that
hero,
movie.
get with the hero.
No,
Right.
no. Oh my God, that movie was trash.
Yeah.
We was about what, 8, 9, 10 years old when that came out. Oh my God, that movie. Well, he had that song. Well, he had the movie. He had Ice Baby, which was a huge hit. And then I remember he had the major title track for the Ninja Turtles 2 movie.
Oh, Ninja Rap.
Ninja Rap.
Ninja Rap.
That was big. So he had like 1.5 big songs or whatever. Oh my God. Now, if he's not doing it himself, listen, anybody can put out anything about themselves, right? That's easy to do. Like if Run and DMC ever get back into be on the good men's, maybe they can probably do a biopic or whatever like that. I think Jay-Z and Nas are still kind of young in their careers and have biopics, whatever like that. But I guess if somebody want to do it, I guess so. Ain't nobody really gonna watch that. Ain't nobody gonna be checking for that. I mean, who really knows Vanilla Ice? I know he had the house rehab show for a little bit of time. Mm-hmm. Other than that, we know him as being the dude was a Suge Knight that hung him up over the banister.
That's gonna be the biggest part of the movie.
If they even put it in there.
Oh, you know they gonna put.
That was a lie.
Well,
that wasn't no lie. I think that actually happened. That happened.
That helped bankroll Death Row. Hit that in here.
Yeah. He got the points off of him, right? He's like, you gonna give us the points off this? Yeah, that was real.
Vanilla Ice, he said he vouched for it.
Yeah.
I hear nobody lying about somebody hanging me over a balcony. Like, let me tell you this lie about this dude killing me and stealing something.
Yeah, he stole it from me.
Yeah, right. And I didn't even seek the authorities on him. So it's
right.
Let me tell you, I think that was facts right
there. Yeah.
All right. So since we're in COVID formation, this is a list of some of the movies that perhaps have been delayed that would have come out or are being held from coming out because of this. Mulan, Tenet, Star Wars. I didn't know what Star Wars this is.
Like a few years from now, yeah.
Black Widow, Wonder Woman 4, and Indiana Jones 5, which I love Indiana Jones. They can keep it.
Well, especially after Crystal Skull.
I don't even know if I really watched Crystal Skull, really.
I never seen it.
Yeah, I don't think I really did.
You ain't missing much.
Yeah, that's why I haven't watched it. Yeah, it hurts me to say that. So, all right, I know you guys were big on the Mulan tip, and probably the Black Widow for you.
Yeah.
I would say none of these movies really bother me.
Tenet for me, big time.
Tenet like it was gonna be. It was David Isaiah Washington, Denzel Washington's son. This was a what's the director who did all the Batman?
Christopher Nolan.
Christopher Nolan. Yeah, it was his next film. It looked good, man.
Robert Pattinson's in it too. Well, we didn't know too much. He's really keeping it under wraps, but it's a spy thriller time travel movie.
Yeah.
Like Denzel or David Washington, he's the main character. And he is a spy, and basically one of these like upper officials in whatever organization he's with, I don't know if it's CIA, but it's some kind of organization, basically gives him the name Tenet, and he says that'll open some of the right doors or some of the wrong ones. And like you just see a bunch of scenes where like stuff is happening in reverse while it's moving forward in time.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. The trailer was pretty cool. You ain't see the trailer, Ken?
I feel like maybe I have. I feel like maybe I have.
Ryan, it came out obviously earlier this year, like February.
No. It was going to come out July.
No. I'm saying the trailer. When did the trailer drop?
Oh, yeah. Probably, yeah.
January, February, something like that?
Yeah. There's been a couple this year, I think.
Yeah. And also, too, I heard, I don't know if this is true or not. It was supposed to have some type of tie to Inception.
Yeah, that was the other thing I was going to say. People are wondering if this is going to either tie into Inception or Interstellar, like all his movies somewhat or something like that. Like there is a theory out there that this is going to like almost combine films together of his.
Yeah.
Just like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, they were talking about how that Leonardo, the person that Leonardo plays in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that actor or whatever.
Yeah, but they're saying that was who he was being, the dude in Candyland and the Django.
I never seen Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I haven't watched it.
Really?
No,
really?
I haven't.
Let me see it.
Entertaining.
Yeah, I don't know if it's like one of his best movies, but very
entertaining.
Yeah,
Entertaining.
I've been wanting to see. I was like,
especially if you like that time period, you definitely.
Yeah, it was. To me, it was good. At the very end, it got a little bit too Tarantino-y.
Yeah.
It's like he had to do it. It was just got Aliens versus whatever the two what's the name movies that came out together.
Kill Bill?
When it was Death Car, and then it was the
Hatchet, Machete, Roadhouse, something like that. Yeah,
whichever, just the one like the Aliens or whatever. It got the very end. He just was like, "Gotta throw that in there." I was like, "Why'd you do that?"
I like Tarantino, but I'm not a hardcore Tarantino fan. I like a handful of his movies. At least out of this list, you're right, Ken. Black Widow, because I'm a huge MCU fan, so I wanted to see what they're gonna do with that. I've never seen the cartoon of the movie Milan. I've never seen it before, so I know Eddie.
You were just gonna go in fresh to live action Mulan? Wow. Wait, were you gonna definitely see this new Mulan?
I wanted to check it. I wanted to check it out. I mean, I know of the cartoon movie. I mean, I know of it. I know Eddie Murphy.
Yeah, you hate Eddie Murphy apparently.
Yeah, no, I love Eddie Murphy. I know he was a dragon, and I know the whole backstory of it. I just never seen the actual movie all the way through. Don't know.
It has arguably one of the greatest Disney songs ever.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
right.
is that the Christina Aguilera one? Which one? Who sings that one, Ryan?
I'm not sure. That one's a good one too. But I was talking the train.
I've never watched it in its entirety straight.
Yeah. It came out 98, 99. We was in college.
We
was in my senior year of college and going into high.
You've never seen an animated cartoon ever?
No, I saw South Park. Probably out my mind.
No, I'm talking
intoxicated.
Like Disney, Pixar.
Not in the late 90s. No, that's when I dropped off. I was about to finish high school and going into college, so I never watched.
But I'm saying like since then. You've gotten on the
obviously there because I got Grace. I've seen a few of them. You know which movie I have not seen all the way through yet, but I know some of the songs because of Grace. Mulan, not Mulan. Not Mulan. What's the one with the Hawaiian girl that The Rock did?
Moana.
I haven't watched that all the way through.
I've never seen Moana.
Whoa!
I haven't seen all the way through. I've seen clips of it.
Watch Moana.
Yeah, you have to.
Really, it is good. Watch Moana.
I think I've seen like 75% of it. I've never seen Trolls. I haven't seen Trolls.
I haven't seen Trolls.
We watched Trolls.
Did you see
too.
The Princess Frog, D?
Nope.
I didn't see that one.
Nah.
He only likes the white Disney movies.
Nah. I know. I mean,
they Snow White. Don't you bring it in this house.
No, I mean, I only watched them really when they was about, saying my age range. So, no, I want to see Black Widow. I just don't understand why they don't put these damn.
Guarantee you've seen a Toy Story.
Because they spent too much time.
I've seen all Toy Stories. I haven't seen the last one that came out. I saw the last one. The last one's pretty good. I saw that one.
I heard it's a real tearjerker. So
it's always pretty good, but it's always the same damn thing.
Right?
It was.
How are we gonna get? So I guess this one stays away. Oh.
Yeah.
What is gonna live?
We gotta save Buzz.
Wait a minute.
The spork.
Yeah.
Spork. Yeah. Wait a minute, Ken. You brought up the point when I said I don't know why they don't put it on the streaming services, but you said that because it costs too much. But listen, but we don't know when theaters are really going to be open because folks don't want to wear masks.
Listen, I want them at 50% because I want at least half of that money to go with the streaming money.
I would love to see the numbers or the revenue generated just off of Hamilton being on Disney Plus. Because I mean, obviously they just recorded that. They recorded Hamilton 4 years ago and they just put it up there. It was going to be for theatrical release though. But I wonder how many people I wonder how much money would they lose if they put it on streaming services.
Think about this. They didn't put that Hamilton out when Hamilton was in New York and Chicago popping.
No, they didn't. They waited. They waited.
So
they waited.
Of course, because they want all those people to go in there and get all of that money. So I'm not going to spend all this on a sci-fi action-packed movie, and then I'm gonna send it to your streaming service, and basically you're already paying for that.
Or we talked about this before. We talked about this before. Would if they say HBO Max and Disney Plus, right? You got Wonder Woman 84. You have Black Widow, right? We discussed this. Do they just add a little bit more? You have to pay a little bit more to see it. Would you? Okay, instead of putting $20 on Amazon Prime, it's like, okay, you're already paying for the subscription. You pay $15 for the movie, whatever like that. I think people would probably still do it.
Do you know how much money they would lose? It takes, dog, for a family of 4.
Oh, it's a lot.
Movie is like what, $60? And you telling me we're basically putting people in the trunk going to the drive-in. They
did that to the Scooby-Doo movie. They had a brand new Scooby-Doo movie. We had quite a few stars in it. We just watched it. It was up for sale. It was for sale. You can download it for like $20, and then like a month later, we watched it for free. I think on HBO Max. So they put it out there for
Scooby-Doo, baby.
I was supposed to say Scooby-Doo.
Hey, yo, all I'm trying to say is
Scooby-Doo.
All I'm trying to say is they could make you pay for it.
You can't put Tenet in the same category as Scooby-Doo.
You don't know when movies are going to open back up. We don't know. When are movies going to open back up? When are theaters going to open back up? You don't know. Because folks are
going to install the individual plexiglass around each seat, and then eventually we'll get in there.
They're not doing it. They're not doing it.
You said Scooby-Doo.
I said Scooby-Doo. I said Scooby-Doo. Where are you?
The blockbuster known as Scooby-Doo.
That's what everybody was saying. Where are you? Where are you? This needs to drop.
Wait a minute, real quick. The movie was actually not bad. It was pretty fun. And
I love the start of not bad.
Right.
No. I mean,
nothing like when he hits us with that.
No.
Nothing like somebody. It tastes all right.
No. The one thing I really liked.
Want to get a spoonful.
The one thing I liked about it, like the opening to the cartoon, or the cartoon that was out in the 70s, they had the exact same open, but it was like a modern kind of version of it. It was a cartoon though, but it was kind of modern version. It was kind of cool. All I'm trying to say is,
wait, was it a cartoon or live action? It was live action, right?
No, it's cartoon. It's cartoon.
Whoa.
Yeah, what?
Whoa. I'm thinking you talking about. You said they had a lot of actors. You talking about voice?
Zac Efron was in there.
Zac Efron ain't nobody no more.
What you mean? He got a new movie on Netflix.
Wait, did you see how he just...
Yeah, about like retiring from acting.
Did you just see how he just jumped back for Zac Efron? Wait, we over here thinking it's live. He's talking about a costume. Is my auntie from down south. A costume. He's talking about a cartoon. And talking about really... When we're talking about paying actors $20 million a movie... He's talking about a cartoon, and why don't they use the same way they did the cartoon?
Zac Efron. It was what's the girl in Chicago that played Jane Version? She was in there. Mark Wahlberg. What's the girl?
Wait, Mark Wahlberg is in there.
Mark Wahlberg. Ken Jeong was in there.
You're working a funky bunch.
Yeah, it had a nice little cast, and this dude, listen, they will put that. They will listen. Oh wait. The studio who's pushing it to be a big summer family movie. That's all I'm trying to say.
We are really gonna miss you, brother.
That's all I'm trying to say. But
blockbusters, aka family movies.
Yeah. Hey, wait a minute. Who wasn't hyped? How many people wasn't hyped about Incredibles 2? I fell asleep on it. But how many people was not hyped about Incredibles 2? It was a cartoon movie that came out in the summer.
It took forever.
All I'm trying to say is people was hyped about it.
Whole different generation of folks.
But you don't know when you're going to be able to go to the theater.
Ain't nobody feeling about no Incredibles and Scooby the same. Don't you even put Scooby-Doo in the same mention as
Hey man, I don't
Scooby-Doo can beat out the Flintstones. That's about it.
I loved Scooby-Doo. I loved Scooby-Doo as a kid. Love Scooby-Doo.
It was straight. I like when
It was
I
solid.
like
It got
when
me
Batman,
through some days.
when Batman and Robin and the Harlem
Yes.
on there.
Yeah, the
But
Beatles
like,
was on there. Who else was on
it
there?
used to
Harlem
get-
Globetrotters and all
it
that.
used to get-
Yeah.
I just said that.
I can hear you.
Okay, but no, it was sometimes it was just too remedial. These dumbass kids, I would have got away. Okay.
Oh,
That
that
was
would have
in
been
there.
great if they just
That
did
was
a
in the
new
movie.
swear each time.
And then they may as well let us see Shaggy and the dog smoking dope. I mean, you may as well have just gotten.
Come on.
Yeah.
It's just,
Why is Shaggy always with the dog? Because he's going outside to get high. Come on.
I'm taking the dog for a walk.
Oh
In a
man.
busted white van.
You need to go to the bathroom, boy? Hold on.
Exactly.
All I'm trying to say is they put Scooby-Doo out there, you know.
All right. Man, D, we really gonna miss having content like that.
What, man? I'm making a valid point. I am making a valid point.
I don't know how this show's gonna make it without that shit. It carries us on. Boy, I thought he was a live action Scooby-Doo.
No.
I didn't
I'll
care
tell you
for
what.
that.
Ken, I think you would have known. Yeah, Ken, I think you would have known if it was a live action.
I wouldn't have been. I would be checking for that shit.
Oh man.
I wouldn't know. All right, what about to say, Ryan?
We need a D movie review segment where we'll get him on some of these blockbusters. And you know, it's not bad. It's not bad.
It wasn't. It wasn't bad.
Zac Efron? Mark Wahlberg?
A+ cast. It's almost like you're like Trump with the movie. A+, great. It's awesome. Super good.
The biggest Scooby-Doo ever.
Scooby-Doo.
The Scooby snacks have never been as tasty as they are right now.
Shaggy's even higher. It's all great.
It was a singer in it too. Oh man, who played her voice?
You good. Let's run this out real quick.
Oh man.
Kim Kardashian-West and Kanye West have been discussing a split for some time. Prior to the rapper's latest string of controversial statements and Twitter sprees, multiple sources tell People. West's behavior has been erratic since announcing his 2020 presidential bid earlier this month, and Kardashian confirmed her husband's bipolar disorder diagnosis in a rare statement Wednesday, asking for compassion, acknowledging their complicated and painful situation. Late Tuesday night, West 43 claimed on Twitter that he had been considering divorcing Kim Kardashian, 39, since November 2018. Now, one insider confirms to People that the divorce had been in process for several weeks. A second source with knowledge of the situation says that there has been enough communication. There has been enough communication both in the past few days and in weeks prior to establish that both sides feel the marriage is over. Representatives for Kardashian and West did not return People's requests for comment. The source says discussion of the divorce has been a long time coming. The stars, who have been married since 2014, share 4 kids and were attempting to figure out the most amicable and loving co-parenting situation. But now Kanye, has gone in a different path, both in terms of deciding to announce his presidential bid and also in terms of how he's choosing to express himself and the things that he's choosing to say.
I mean, I don't think I'm that shocked when he's talking about divorce with them too. I think it's probably a lot on her to deal with him. Not saying that she's probably.
There's a lot with him dealing with him.
Yeah, I'm about to say right now, it's a lot dealing with him because that's a whole other world right there.
Especially she go in the walled off a story talking prison reform with Meek Mill.
Oh yeah, and wait a minute, did Meek Mill come? Meek Mill came out like, dude, we just had a meeting. It wasn't nothing even like that.
Did you see this? Did you see they played this clip of Kanye? And I remember when he did this interview, I think it was with Fat Man Scoop. Is that how it goes? What's the guy, the LA radio host?
I know you're talking about. We lost.
Who?
We say
Big Boy.
Big Boy.
Big Boy. Yeah, Big Boy.
Yeah,
Big Boy.
Yeah.
And on there, he's saying how the type of mentality that people have, and was saying like, mugs out here want to, have sex. I'm cleaning it up. I want to have sex with people's wives. I want to ride around and rap about stuff that can get them locked up, and then talk about prison reform. Come out tomorrow, and clearly he was talking. I remember him doing it. I was like, why did he just take that shot at Meek Mill, right?
Oh wow.
Yeah, he said this. This was like a year ago or whatever, and clearly he's talking about Meek Mill.
Oh,
is he saying that to? Who else was talking prison reform?
Right.
At that point, and again, like you said, that I mean, that's just alleged. Even though I bet Listen, I bet my man got spies out there. Like, where was she at and what was she doing?
You know what? It wouldn't shock me if he did, because remember she got robbed at gunpoint out there in France. So I mean, I'm sure he has, or she has, a very tight security detail with her whenever she goes. Same way with him, obviously. But yeah, man, I'm sure it's a lot in that relationship, man. It's heavy in a lot of different forms. I keep saying, I think, because his mother has passed away for so many years ago, I think that she's been his anchor. Could you imagine if she wasn't in his life, my man would probably be out there really wild. I think with her and in their kids, that is some sense of an anchor and a foundation in his life. But at the same time, though, it wouldn't shock me going through a lot of things that they've been through, each one of them, you know what I'm saying, probably bring it to the table. It's kind of like, man, I don't know if we can keep doing this. So it's not shocking.
And especially when you have young kids growing in that situation and you have someone who is bipolar like Kanye. And I mean, by no means are we saying like abandon your sick mate. You know what I'm saying? But at one point on both ends, when does it get toxic? Because let's just not look at, it's a lot comes with being with Kim Kardashian. You know, and like
that's a lot.
Family, so you're already battling, the imbalance in your mind. Top of that, the pressure of what comes with being in that showbiz family or whatever, and being married to her, and then the flip side, her being married to this musical genius, this designer, doesn't seem to always want to be on his meds, lady, you know what I'm saying? It's a lot, and I don't even want to be malicious with it, because sometimes Kanye's like, "What are you doing?" But yeah, man, it's nothing to be happy about. You know what I'm saying? It's not,
right.
Oh no,
it's nothing to be. I mean, in some ways, it's sad. I'll say this though, because I think you made up a good point when you said, I know from my brothers, that today's my brother's birthday.
Oh man, happy birthday, Aaron!
Sorry to hear.
Yeah, some of my brothers' death. Yesterday was my birthday too. You guys forgot, but
was this the 24th? 24th. Damn.
Yes,
happy birthday.
That's like 2 out of 3 years y'all did that one.
I thought we weren't wishing happy birthdays anymore.
Okay, you're not on that text thread. But the thing was this: if I'd have had my family, I think about like how really bad I would have gotten in a dark place. But I had so much love to go with what Dee was trying to point out. But I wonder this, and you guys let me know. With some sense of something with more normancy, perhaps help him. Like, let's say he finds someone who, even though he's probably going to end up being with another starlet or somebody in the industry, what if he finds someone, even you could find someone that's doing that's closer to what we deem as normal, quote unquote, and maybe he's not really in the limelight, so it's not like two bright stars together, so someone whose focus can perhaps be, if they're playing back, more kind of keeping you stable or whatever. And so
the
same with her. Maybe, she can find someone where it's easier for her to move around and she doesn't have the same things. I just hope, I hope Kanye and again, Kanye really gets on my nerves, but I hope he's taken care of. Let me say that.
But that's the biggest thing. That he isn't, he's dealing with something mentally. You know what I'm saying? He's dealing with bipolar. He has been diagnosed with bipolar. So I think you have to kind of understand, like, okay, yeah, he has these, at least if you understand understand somebody who has bipolar and the things that they go through, their families go through, you know what I'm saying? It's hard. So you're 100% right, Ken. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he might say some things kind of like, man, what are you talking about? But then the back in the mind is kind of like, okay, that he's dealing with something. Some people don't believe it. Some people think that he's using it as a crutch or using it as a way to get things out. He does have an album supposed to be dropping sometime soon. So
it dropped.
Yeah,
it dropped Thursday.
Yeah, but it didn't happen.
I thought it was Friday night. It was supposed.
But I mean, that's what
night.
He's supposed to have had it in on Thursday.
Oh,
okay. All right, but that didn't
happen. I thought it was coming Friday night.
So
it would have came out Friday, but he didn't turn it in. Is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, it's a lot, man. It's a lot. See, what you got to say?
We all know when it comes to Kim Kardashian and Kardashian family, they protect their names and they protect their brand. So they're going to do any and everything to protect their name. So anybody else trying to come and try to distort it, those people will get kicked out immediately. Now back to Kanye, we all can sit in and make excuses for. I'm not saying we're us here, but people can make excuses for him all they want to. he does need someone to talk to, but with the stature that he has and with the mentality that he has, yes, he's a musical genius, but he said himself in one of his songs, no one can tell me nothing. So even if it was some older person, or maybe someone at his age can maybe really sit him down, but it all comes down to the individual at the end of the day. Will he really respect that person and listen to that person? This is a thought.
For me, Ken, I think you brought up a really good point. I kind of wondered this. I think even when they were getting married, like, we've known for a long time he has a lot of, mental issues that he's dealing with, like bipolar and just his mom passing away. So who knows what kind of depression or grief or whatever he's going through, just whatever can add to it. Maybe he's having, at the time, a psychotic episode just because of the grief or something like that. Anything can potentially happen with someone losing a parent potentially. And that family, the Kardashian, like, they are a very public family. They welcome a lot of attention, and not always the best kind, and not always doing things for the right reasons. Like, Kim has done a lot of good things in terms of prison reform, but before then, a lot of people wonder if she was even a good role model for women and girls in general.
Yeah.
So I just always wondered, could that just not be a good thing for a person that's dealing with mental issues having that lifestyle?
Yeah.
All right.
Hey, make sure you follow us on Twitter and Instagram at DN Davis Show. Once again, it's at DN Davis Show. Facebook.com/DN Davis Show. At Demons1, at That's Davis, at Ron Bukoveski, at SidKid80. And our apologies. I'll say our apologies right now. Happy birthday, Ken.
Happy birthday!
Hey.
You're my guys. I don't care about shit like that. It's not that serious.
The Flip.